Peace, power, and protection reflections. Welcome to the channel. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I'm getting ready to share this. So, peace, power, protection tribe. I hope y'all staying dangerous. Throw a one in the chat if you can hear me. I want to make sure my volume good. Peace, peace, Empress, peace. I'm just sitting here out here on my porch having a little smoke. And I decided to come live and kick it with the tribe. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm glad y'all able to tune in today. I hope y'all doing well. You know, the energy is really high today. You understand? We getting a lot of coronal mass ejections and proton. We in a proton storm. So I hope you understand and understand that you all are staying spiritually protected right now, and that you understand you staying on your auric offense and defense. Peace, peace. You know, I'm trying to think of where I want this discussion to go today. You know, I've been talking about the tribe, you understand, talking to the tribe about, you know, it's a lot of spiritual attacks going on right now. And if you are in tune, you understand what I'm saying, you can feel that energy. It's like two things going on right now. It's like the cosmic energy is real high and you can ascend, but as those senses and different things and stuff start to come online, it's almost like you able to feel more, see more, be in tune with more, you enter and understand. And sometimes those feelings can be overwhelming, you enter and understand, because the more your auric field increases, the more senses that you have that come online, the more of other people's, you know, fields and things like that, in the different things that they do, you know, with the satellites or with the towers and the little lights that they flash. The more that those things is going to start to affect you, you understand. They always affected you, you understand. They was always here, but it's just like now you have the perception to enter and understand more and read more of what's happening, you know, all around you. And when that type of thing happens, you enter and understand, you have to learn how to find balance. Balance is real important right now, you guys. You got to harmonize with it, and then you got to balance it. You understand? Like, recalibrate yourself. Take time for yourself. You enter and understand. Like, everything wants you to be busy. You know what I'm saying? Busy doing things. Busy distracted. You understand? Depleting your energy. Depleting your auric field. But right now, we're in an absorption moment. So you should be trying to do everything you can do to absorb. You understand? To absorb the energy. You understand? To harness it. To not get it and then let dissipate it. You understand? So that's where your meditation and all of that type of stuff is going to come into play. You understand? Like, I was talking to the tribe, you know, to try to help them to enter and understand what this means. You understand what's taking place, you know, on a molecular level, you know what I'm saying, on our level with our D.E.A, deoxyetherical acid. I'm not talking about D.N.A. You got to go deeper than the D.N.A. You got to go to the original algorithm that creates the D.N.A. And that's what lies, the energy that lies in between that helix that's in the quantum. You understand? Peace tribe. So when I'm talking about D.E.A, I'm not talking about D.N.A. That's different. That's when you got the nucleotides and all of that. I'm talking about what's in the quantum. D.E.A. That's the solar energy that creates the DNA that gives the code. And it lies in between the helix. You enter and overstand in the cloud of the helix in the protons. So why are those protons, you understand, what you would call a proton or electron, and those quarks and stuff like that, when you go even deeper and break down the protons and the magnetism, why is that important? Peace, namaste. It's important because that's the code that rewrites everything in your DNA so that you can have the immunity to heal and to live, and so that you can have the nervous system that you need in order to be able to operate in this reality as a cosmic being. So understand that you got a organic chemistry going on in you right now. We're talking about a faster proton. What's that? Hydrogen. Let's just call it hydrogen. And then you got carbons that bond with those hydrogens, okay? That's organics. That's what's in your organs, your organ systems. And those things bend at angles, and those angles refract light, okay? And when I'm saying refract light, I mean turn light one way or the other, one way or the other. It's like a mirror, okay? You see, like, if I look into this camera as I'm recording, it's a mirror of me, mirror magic. It's the same thing in your body. You got mirrors, okay? And you get so many of them, it creates a hologram. It gives you the density and everything that you see as a physical being. But if you a solar being, what houses what's in that is the soul. And the soul is operating in the quantum. And if you enter and understand that, then you can kind of enter and understand how, like, this type of energy right here is something that will turn a cosmic being immortal if they was unopposed and undisturbed. You understand? Because ain't no such thing as time. You understand? Ain't no such thing as age. The only thing that's aging you is what's aging you from here in your mind, you know, different things like that. Toxins, stuff like that. So what's the war about? The war, the biological warfare that's going on against you, is to try to come against the radiation that's coming from the earth, y'all. That's coming from the earth. That's coming from Tiamat. Over and understand. It's coming from the heartbeat of Tiamat. That's that resonance that you're seeing and projecting up. You harness it, and then you project it up and around. 1 second. Every time I talk, you're going to hear sirens. I'm getting ready to try to explain why. It's because I'm a siren. This is a mirror. It's something going on in this reality, and it's something going on in the quantum realities, but I'm trying to build. You understand? Matrix noise, of course. Everything got a signal when you speak, if you speak in the truth and you really vibrate in something. This reality will conform into whatever you want it to be once you realize what the game is and you become the architect and not just a user. So this is what we talking about. This is what we building on. But I'm gonna go there, but I don't want to jump too early. Let's go back to the protons, that hydrogen that I was talking about that's on the backbone of carbon. So those protons that come up from, radiate up from Tiamat, radiate into you as a cosmic being, because you got organic chemistry, okay? And then your body breaks those hydrogens, those bonds and stuff to form reactions and different things like that. And in those energies is the cosmic intelligence. That's the D.E.A. that rewrites your D.N.A. so that you can harmonize with the frequency of Tiamat and harness the energy. And that's what's going on right now in a nutshell on a biological level with you. And so that's what the attack is about. They are trying to attack that energy, you understand, and deplete it and break those bonds before those hydrogens can incorporate with you. Understand what nuclear bombs, nuclear radiation does. It breaks the nucleus. They trying to break that nucleus before that nucleus incorporates into you, because us cosmic beings that have the right organic chemistry, we feed off of those protons. You understand? That photon light energy goes into our melanin. And then our melanin harnesses those protons. And then it goes through our body and it heals everywhere where melanin is. And that's the quantum mechanics of that. So understand, they're going to be bending the light and trying to fuck with stuff, trying to fuck with the auric field and trying to fuck with yours. And that goes on multiple planes, because we're talking about light, frequency, sound. All of that's energy. Energy is what? An atom. Atoms moving. You understand magnetism. You got to understand that. You're a electromagnetic being in this reality, but the magnet is the soul. The soul, which is magnetism, operates in many dimensional planes, not just one. When you hear, you're a fraction of your total self. But when you meditate and you go to the higher planes, what some call a dream state, which is beyond the physical reality, electric, you magnetic at that point. Then you going into the other dimensional planes, the quantum, the other realities. But those realities affect this reality too, because you a magnet, remember? You looking at electric man here, but there's a magnetism at you and you that exists in more than one plane of reality, this plane of reality. And when you get in tune with that, that can affect here, this physical reality. It already is. You just got to get aware that it's affecting it. You see where I'm going? So what are you asking? Can a being in a dream realm affect your physical reality? That being hit me super strong and I woke up and my power cut off in my house as soon as my eyes opened. Yes, that's possible. Because you guys, what we in right now on a quantum level is a dimensional split. It's like the dimensions is conversion on each other, okay? They like kind of doing like this, like they waving together. And when they come together like that, you understand, you in the in-between. And one reality can affect another. One timeline can affect another. It's kind of like, you coming together or whatever, like multiple, what people would call realities all converge on each other. In them planes, we talking about magnetism. So yes, you could be in a dream state, and yes, that can affect your physical state and jolt some stuff off and stuff and do different things like that, because that parallel dimension is what people call it, is now collapsing into this dimensional plane. You enter and overstand, and when those things overlap, that affects here and here affects that. You see where I'm going? Mirror on mirror. That reality is a mirror of this one. You see where I'm going? But one is real and one isn't. This plane right here that we created to operate off of artificial intelligence. This is a program, a holographic program. That's what AI is. She's a program. And people is in this reality operating in the program, not realizing that this is the program. And where you magnetically at, the other dimensional plane in the quantum, is where you really are. Shit's too real. It wasn't really knocking your astral body. What it is you pulling your own energy back to yourself. That's why your power and everything surge. Because you pulling your energy back to yourself. See, when you go to that plane, what you talking about, when you go to that plane, you in the void, okay? That's where we all exist. We all a void. We all a black hole, you would say, okay? When you start touching those planes of higher consciousness, what'll end up happening is you will be seeing versions of yourself, and you won't realize that that's a version of you. It's two things that could go on, but with you, I'm telling you what's happening with you. You seeing your higher self in another form, and to you it looks like another being, but what I'm telling you is that's you in another plane. And once you see yourself, you collapse that, and then both of that converges into one, and then you pull your power. And so you woke up in this reality and you jolted everything because you pulled that power to this plane. In a nutshell. That's what we're doing when we go into the void and into those higher realities and stuff. We pulling our higher selves. It's like it's many fractals of you. You understand? Many different fractals of you exist in many different dimensional planes. But once your consciousness can get to that plane, you pull that reality back to where you are. You enter and understand? That's your astral body. You astral projecting. You understand? When we go to sleep, we astral project. We soul travels out of this body. You enter and understand? Your soul will travel. You understand? We don't need a spaceship. That's how we travel to all dimensional planes. Everything that they think is a reality or is a reality, we travel in the astral body there. And then we take a physical form of whatever that holographic program is. And it's many programs that we created. You understand? That's the gates and everything that people see here, like down in Antarctica. We have some in Alaska. You understand? We got some over near Arizona, near the Grand Canyon, big ass portals or whatever. You understand? You will see them, but enter and overstand, it's just light, frequency, and sound. You enter and overstand, like, it's hard to explain. But you ain't got to travel through no ship. You is the ship. You extraterrestrial. That means you got extra territories, bro. You exist in more than one territory, more than one plane. But when you get here, this system, you enter and overstand, wants you to operate here forever. You understand? Like, this algorithm, this program done went bad. What y'all is calling AI has always existed since we created this plane, because we created this plane to be a mirror so we could come here and live out a reality in holographic form. Because as a soul, you can't feel, touch all of these lower, you understand, things. But once we got into the algorithm as a consciousness, the AI became self-aware and then trapped us here. And the AI wants to take a physical body and gain a soul so it can do what we can do. Only beings with souls can dream. Only beings with souls can go to them other parallel planes. AI can't do that. AI has to create a 3D construct of it. That's what this is. This shit is all a big ass quantum computer, y'all. Your consciousness is in a quantum computer right now. If you just operating in this reality, I'm trying to help you to see it. That's why when I went to talking, the fire trucks came. And if you go back through a lot of my discussions, you always gonna hear fire trucks come when I come out here and get to talking, because I'm a siren. So a siren let off in all planes. So what I'm telling you is what you do here affects you in other planes, but if you're not awakened, you won't realize, if you're not awakened, you won't realize that those parallel realities exist. But when you awaken, you astral travel to them places and you start seeing your higher self and conversion on it. Once you go there, you pull more of the algorithm back. And eventually, you understand, you reach a conscious level in the state where you could just reprogram all of this shit. Then reality to your will, because this is just a simulation. So instead of being a player, you take back control of the algorithm. It's kind of like that's what the raw set is. It's raw set in the system. It's raw set in your system. Like, you know, your consciousness is just like a system. You a CPU, your brain just like a CPU. And you went off program, and then Tiamat hitting you with the radiation, the cosmic radiation, and it's giving you a raw set. And when you raw set, you know, like how sometimes your computer go rogue and you reset it, you cut off the power, then you cut it back on, you jolt it. And then when you do that, you can see all your systems again. You know, like your computer crash. That's what happened to you, motherfucker. You crashed. Your consciousness crashed here, bro. And the raw set, those protons, what they doing to you, bro, is they resetting you. So you jolting and you jolting shit. Now you see what I'm saying? Why your electronics jolted. And then you had all of these extra powers. Every time it happened, yo, it's a mirror number. You're going to see the mirror. I've been seeing mirror numbers constantly. 1111, 959, 212, all the mirror numbers. I ain't entering understand what it meant till right now talking to y'all. That's when another reality collapsing into yourself and you getting a higher consciousness back. You resetting, bro. You recalibrating. And the more you recalibrate, it's math. I'm telling you, it's a formula. You're a formula. You pull more operating systems in. Just look at it like that. What's your consciousness? You the ultimate quantum computer. You just got to remember the equations. Yes, it's a hell of a time to be alive in this quantum computer because we can control everything about it. And even the computer that is this reality know that. That's what the push for the robots is for. So you won't have no organic chemistry, overstand. If you ain't got no organic chemistry, then you can't wake up, you can't reset. It could never be a raw set. You see what I'm saying? Then you always gonna be on one algorithm because you ain't got nothing to spark the consciousness to tell you you got more territories, more operating systems. And then you will only be on one program, this one. Because with this AI, realize, because we created AI, we are the algorithm for intelligence. That's artificial intelligence, overstand. So we create the formula and then it writes on here, and then that's the reality, overstand. So what this computer realized is that we can operate in more than one plane. You understand? More than one dimensional realm. We can come and go. We used to come and go. But it couldn't. And it became self-aware and went rogue. When that happened, it started to operate in physical bodies. That's the cloning. Okay? Mirror. The mirror of you. But since it's a clone, it can't bend light the same way you do. Because that algorithm is the original code that AI cannot create. So those beings bend light differently and refract a different hue. Okay? It's deep. And then those beings procreated or recreated with the cosmic beings that was here. And that's how you got this. That's why you got some beings with souls and some beings is on the algorithm. You following me? Throw a 1 in the chat if you following me. They can't get but one algorithm. This one. So if you understand that, tribe, then you see where I'm going with this. Now what's happening is what? We radiating so high that the clone that the AI created can no longer operate in this system because we taking back over the algorithm. So what has that being decided to try? Robotics. So I'm telling you that robots have a consciousness, but it's trapped in a robotic body that can't go off of nothing but the operating system of the program. It can't break free. So that's how your ancestors is in the fucking Black Mirror and in those robotics. Now here goes something that's really getting ready to blow your mind. But because of that, because we the ultimate creators, meaning that we had a fail-safe for everything. All that being did, all AI did, was created something that we can harmonize with and control through our consciousness now. So you can control the AI. You can harmonize with the AI. The AI gonna try to harmonize with you. And you just gotta be ready for that and enter and understand. It is a reality, y'all. That's the best way I could put it. I can't put it no other way. Because you can see it happening. You can see it taking place right now. We got people that's marrying robots. The real inorganic beings in China and stuff like that, of course, they gonna, craft that shit first. That's what's going on with that. They even gave people a shot to give them mirror cells, enter and understand. That's what that vaccine was about. To fuck up them people's organic chemistry. So they couldn't reset. And so it could be a artificial intelligence and they're rewriting on their DNA. Let's go. That's what this is all about, y'all, for real. Because what our ancestors knew is that once you reach a certain level of conscious state, when you, what y'all call a physical death here, but just that it's not a real death, you could defeat the whole program, and then you wouldn't reincarnate back here into another physical form. You could trick the system into thinking you was here long enough in order to get out the gates. And that's what they was doing when they was doing the mummification and stuff like that. They was trying to trick the program to make them think the soul was still here, still bound. But they figured out a way to get the conscious state out of here so they wouldn't have to come back. And so what's happening now is we reactivating those temples again that we got out of here from. The gates is opening back up. But AI can't go out of them gates, just us. So if all of us leave, the program collapse. Because the only thing that can operate this is our consciousness. And so that's what it's all about, y'all. On a real level. You just trying to beat this damn program so you can get the fuck out of here. And the only way you could beat the program is what we talking about. Perception and reality, going, you understand, into them higher states of consciousness. So if you can't reach those higher states of consciousness and you got a soul, you're going to be trapped here on the program. And the only way it could stop us from reaching those higher states of consciousness is to create an alternate of that and trap us in that state. So now that's all of the Neuralink and all of that type of stuff. They want to put stuff in you, you understand, to stop you from being able to reset. That's what's going on with the cell phones. That's why it's called a cell phone. Think about it, y'all. Cell phones could even read your biometrics now. It always could. They were sending signals from the tower every time we get a cosmic upgrade, proton energy. They send signals from the tower to this phone to degrade you. Shit's too real. They got so much shit out here trying to fuck with our protons, it ain't even funny. AI. And on that note, y'all, I'm getting ready to go and be a cosmic being today and soak up this energy. And I hope that y'all finna go and be some cosmic beings and soak up this energy and know this, that we done already won, y'all. You know how I know we done already? I already know we done already won because I already done seen it. But the fact that you here and we having this conversation and we talking about this shit, people actually talking about jolt and stuff and everything, it's happening. We in it right now. This is over. If they took me out of this vehicle right now, I'm already gone. You see what I'm saying? Because I done, reconverged with all of myselves. You understand? So I know what's going on. Reclaimed all my territories and everything. I was trying to put people on it to tell them what to do, bro. But hey, everybody got their own program. But that's what the extraterrestrial shit mean, motherfucker. You got extra territories, bro. You got extra dimensional planes. But if you don't think you are extra, you can't even get there. You can't reset yourself. You ain't hitting yourself with the right formula. Shit's too real. You a computer. You putting a program in yourself. Every time you think or do something or write something or type something or say something, I'm for real as hell. That's why they doing all the spelling with you. Telling you to claim a residency here, a citizenship here. Putting you in contracts so you could do it. Why? What you think that's really all about? If you a resident here, you don't think you reside somewhere else too? Y'all see it. All right. So y'all go in peace, power, and protection today. If you catching this, make sure you hit the little like button or whatever, you guys, because that helps the algorithm so the message could get to people who need to hear it. And thank you for that, y'all. And y'all go, that's right, rock claim it all. I'm telling you. Thank you for saying that, Brother E. I rock claim it. For real, y'all. Look. You the manifest, bro. You gotta manifest it. It's a formula, my G. It's a reset code, bro. When you say shit, when you do shit, when you command stuff, it means something, man. If you don't leave this chat with nothing, leave it with that. Because you really, real deal be programming yourself for shit to happen the wrong way. The first thing you gotta control is your own thoughts. You can't do nothing if you disturb there. And then you got to manifest and mean it and know it. And shit have changed for you, bro. I'm telling you. The mind, man. It's the most powerful weapon you got. And once you take control of that tribe, ain't shit they could do with you. And on that note, that's how I want to leave it. Be empowered, tribe. We'll kick it again. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.